He stood there on a Namek with fury in his chest. Always second place, always chasing someone else's best. The prince of all Saiyans, born with royal blood, but destiny kept pushing him face down in the mud. He trained harder than anyone, bled more than they knew. Every scar a reminder of what he still had to prove. What if just this once the fire burned in him first? What if he was the one who finally broke through the curse? Close your eyes and picture it. The sky turns gold before it splits. A different path, a different name. The story never plays the same. What if Vegeta reached it first? What if he was the one to burst through the ceiling of his pain, and the whole universe changed? No longer living in the shadow of another man's light. What if Vegeta reached it first that night? What if the gold was always his to claim? Would he still be the same? Maybe pride would finally soften just a little bit. Maybe he would let himself believe that he was it. Not a rival chasing Kakarot across the stars, but a king who found his power and embraced his scars. Would he still be cold, or would the fire change his heart? Would Bulma see something different from the very start? Would Trunks grow up watching his father stand above? A man who found his strength and learned to show his love. Close your eyes and picture it. The golden aura lifts the mist. A warrior who finally sees he was always meant to be free. What if Vegeta reached it first? What if he was the one to burst through the ceiling of his pain, and the whole universe changed? No longer living in the shadow of another man's light. What if Vegeta reached it first that night? What if the gold was always his to claim? Would he still be the same? He carried a weight that most people will never feel, born into a legacy that never let him heal. A planet lost, a people gone, a father he could not save. He swore he would be more than just a warrior and a slave. But what if in that moment when Frieza crossed the line, instead of Goku screaming, it was Vegeta who shined? The golden light erupting from a heart that finally broke, not from weakness but from everything he never spoke. The tears he never cried, the words he never said, the love he kept buried somewhere deep inside his chest. If power comes from feeling, then he had enough to spare. He just needed one moment, one reason, one breath of air. What if Vegeta reached it first? What if he was the one to burst through the ceiling of his pain, and the whole universe changed? No longer living in the shadow of another man's light. What if Vegeta reached it first that night? What if the gold was always his to claim? What if he rose above the pride and shame? What if everything we knew was rearranged? Would the prince become the legend? Would he ever be the same? Maybe it was never just about the just the rival or the foil. You were always worthy of the gold beneath the coil. The story might be written, but the princekin still remains. What if you had reached it first? Would anything have changed?